I'm back.
We just saw Woman King 2.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Chadwick, he's gone.
I'm dead.
He died.
R.I.P.
This movie was weird. It didn't feel like it should have been a movie, but at the same time, I saw what could have been, especially in the first opening act of this movie. And the beginning kind of hooks you in, like, okay, this is like what Winter Soldier did for Captain America, you know? Like, this is gonna be a more serious, stripped down movie, like maybe some geopolitical stuff. Okay, interesting, but no.
I really want to highlight that the first 15 minutes of this movie were actually good. I was so blown away by how relatively hooked I was. And then by like the 35, 40 minute mark of this 2 hour and 40 minute movie, I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, the directing style, I dug it. It helped a lot. It gets personal up in there, you know, movement. Wow, it's actually drawing me in because this isn't just a stale Marvel movie where things happen and wow.
The music, weirdly enough, was actually more prominent than the first Black Panther movie. I think this movie did a much better job at like dispersing the music throughout. I will say there's a couple scenes, again, the final act of this movie, like it's just so bad. Think of like the Iron Man, Tony Stark making the suit. It's with like a lot of dialogue and it's like 5 times longer.
But it's playing that like Florida Cuba music from Fast and Furious when what do you even call that music? I don't even
shit. Oh, man, this movie just was weird. Like I was watching someone lose confidence in real time. Like it started off so good and then like every minute it just gets more and more unconfident in itself and what it's trying to do. So it just like reverts back to being like a shitty Marvel movie. Like it starts off like, oh, we're gonna take ourselves seriously, do this and that, and then like, oh wait, I don't know if I can really do this. Here's like a stupid villain has like wings and he flies. Even at that part, like, okay, we can make him serious. Like, we'll make him engaging and smart. The conversation between him and Shuri, they're trying to make him like intelligent, but then he does like a 180, becomes a goofy fucking villain with no brain, makes the rest of the movie predictable, and it kills that climactic fight. Even the fighting, it started off kind of good, like and then it got shakier and shakier and lazier as the movie progressed too.
But the use of slow motion, it was done tastefully in the opening act, but then later on in the movie, they just
use it for whatever.
Ryan made both movies, and I was thinking, I was like, fuck, there's gonna be a stupid, goofy fight, you know, they have to improve it though from the first one. He had to have watched this first movie and be like, man, that climax of Black Panther was fucking bad and ugly in CGI. And what they do the same thing. First Black Panther came out years ago, and the fact that I can watch this movie today in the year 2022 and be like, man, this CGI is the same, is very, very bad.
Going back to the villain, like again, I was just like on board in the beginning. The introduction to the antagonist and his people was one of the coolest introductions for the antagonist in a Marvel movie that I can recall. I'm not about to just sit here and try to think about the last 15 fucking years of these goddamn movies, but holy shit, these movies can still do cool stuff. For me to come to the realization that they can still do new things in these movies to draw my attention and make me want to watch it, I was blown away. And it just makes me question even further, why the fuck was the next 2 hours of this movie just so...
You know, all the acting and stuff is fine. It's just the writing, again, that gets progressively worse. You know, Lupita is beautiful. I love her so much. The way the movie deals with Chadwick's death, like his actual death was fine, you know. I think they did it the best they could. Shuri's the new character, and she goes through her own arc and development similar to like fucking Tom Holland or whatever with fucking whatever. But they do another twist thing, and by the time that happens, the movie's almost over and you're already like sick of the movie. It's kind of dumb, but it makes sense. Like they couldn't really go any other route. Like this was probably the best way to do it, I guess.
There's certain aspects in the first Black Panther that were so important, crucial to their history and culture. The flower, it was so important. It's the driving force of fucking everything. And then this movie is like, we recreated it. See, the big problem is that, like, who gives a fuck about Marvel and the Avengers and Disney anymore? Like, who fucking cares? That's why it's so important for these movies to be individualistic and to really set themselves apart from everything else. And again, it started to do that, and then it just fell into the tar pit. It's more than I had to say about Halloween Ends.
Chadwick, come back!
I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10. It started out really good, and then it got just dumb and fell into the trap. You know what we say? This is the result of making a movie without the main character. And it was way too goddamn long. A great 15 minutes. And then I just don't know what the fuck happened.
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. 0.5 is like a mix between like seeing a lot of Lupita and just the fact that like started to be something and then it just progressively fell apart into nothing. I feel like this movie shouldn't have been a movie. Maybe like just make it a Disney Plus exclusive. Give Ryan the opportunity to flesh out this idea he had.
What's wrong with us, or is it what's wrong with people that laugh in the theaters at the comedy? Because it's not funny. It's not funny. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Maybe who knows?
I don't know. Don't even watch it, really. You're not gonna miss anything, and the movie doesn't do enough for it to be memorable.
Wakanda forever, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye. Maybe Taco Bell should implement the idea of heating their food before giving it to you. Imagine you get Taco Bell and the cheese is melted. I mean, fuck me. Just. At least the Doritos Los Tacos, you know, Dorito.